Alright, the second Mythisch has arrived along with the Master Deck Set Regalis piece. So let's begin. So first off, before we begin, here's the reveal of the Blackout First Leader, Ruko Miyako. Literally no other description other than saying Team Blackout's First Leader before Donji. And on to the new Regalis piece. Let's start off with Urara with Sound of Wave. This one's a blitz order that you just play for free. So if your Vanguard's grade is lower than your opponent's Vanguard, you could ignore the grade condition as well. AKA if you're going second basically. But anyway, you choose one of your units being attacked and it gets plus 15k power at the end of the battle. And then choose one of your opponent's units and it gets minus 5k power at the end of the turn, but if your opponent's at Persona Ride, minus 10k instead. Kind of a total of 25k shield overall, but the nice part is that it could be a 15k shield for one attack and then choose one of your opponent's other units and then minus that power as well. And that minus power can be very effective, especially on a multi-attacking unit, since it is until the end of the turn, which is actually very nice. Overall, it's not too bad, but it is based on personal preferences. And then we go to Shroud in Darkness, which is a grade 3 normal order Regalis piece, and you play it by counterblasting 1. But if you did not ride from the ride deck this turn, you can pay it for free. So you choose 2 normal units with at least equal grade or less than your Vanguard that are different names, along with them not being Sentinels, call them to Rearguard. And then if the number of cards you call is 1 or less, you put the other one to Soul. Basically, you're calling 2 units that are different from each other from the drop zone with the total grade of your Vanguard. So if your Vanguard is grade 3, you choose basically a 2 and 1. Or if it's a grade 4, you just call 2 grade 2s if you wish, or 3 and 1, as long as the total grade is equal to your Vanguard or less. Or you could just choose to put 1 to Soul and the other one call, or just put both to Soul. It is personal preferences, which actually makes this card pretty good, especially for a premium application where you're going to stride to grade 4 and you just basically have 2 grade 2s that you could just call. And this also being a grade 3 Regalis piece, which is also pretty nice, especially for the part where you're not going to need to ride from the ride deck since you're going to be striding. So yeah, overall cool new Regalis piece. And now to the new Veissrugr cards. We start off with Omar Stem Verdero. And you play it for free if your Vanguard is at least a grade 3 Veissrugr. So you choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it, and then until the end turn, your Vanguard gets this ability in the end turn. Auto Vanguard, once per turn, when your rearguard with Mythisch is placed on rearguard by unit ability, aka through Veissrugr, the cost of the original auto abilities are reduced by 1 counterblast in the end turn. It's an overall nice order card. It lets you free retire on one of your opponent's rearguards, along with basically making free skills for your stronger Mythiches. Especially since we do have a new Mythisch that also uses counterblast, so if you call that along with I believe the Wolf, both counterblasts are going to be reduced by 1 at the same time. So overall, cool new addition, although it's just another order, so you do need to think of spacing for it. In which we go to the second Mythisch, Mig Garsom Garzarums, which is a grade 2 with 10 power, and the skill is auto. When placed on rearguard during battle, if your Vanguard is at least a grade 3 Veissrugr, cost counterblast 1 into the end of your opponent's next turn. This card cannot be chosen by your opponent's card abilities and can attack from the back row, which is very nice because that means now Veissrugr has a 5th attacker, this time on the back row. And being a solar attacker usually would be bad without extra power until you read the second skill where count rearguard during your turn if your opponent's Vanguard is at least at grade 3 plus 5k, but if you play a normal order this turn, 15k instead. So basically it's a 5th attacker that gets some extra power, which is actually pretty nice. And considering that this deck now has 2 different orders, you're guaranteed that extra 15k power buff. Overall, not too bad, especially for the resist part, but there isn't really much to say here. And finally, here's the secret rare. And then as for the master deck sets, you can pull high rarity character versions of the triggers, and here's the deck list. Once again, I said it before, it was pretty cool and decent on top of that, even before the Regalis piece reveal. And next week we got Vladimir Nexus, finally. And so that's it for this review of the second Mythisch along with Master Deck Set Regalis piece. What do you guys think of them? For the Regalis piece, they're always just good options. It just depends on the deck and it's also based on personal preferences. But overall, they are pretty good. As for the second Mythisch, pretty good addition for Veissrugr as we are still waiting for the last Mythisch now. But as for the second one, giving you additional attack like a sneak attack of a snake, pretty awesome, especially the resist part. And for additional order, not expected, but I really like it. But on that, that's it for this and see you next time.